Welcome to the Intro Tour Part 3. In Part 1 of our tour, we explored Casey Basics, available for free to use with all your patterns. In Part 2, we explored Essentials and learned about the tools in Edit mode to customize our projects with highlights, notes, linked counters, and more. I recommend watching Part 1 and Part 2 before watching Part 3. In Part 3, we are going to learn how to use Setup. If you've ever cut up and taped two charts together or had to work from different pages of your pattern at the same time, you have a good idea of the challenges that the Setup tools enable you to overcome. Setup mode lets you crop and rearrange the parts or pieces of the pattern. With the addition of the Setup tools, we can add a one-tap marker to our charts and text, so a single tap will move us to the next row. Join charts and text together from different parts of the pattern so we can have one piece to knit from for an entire row. And with the one-tap marker, we can add row-based reminders, repeats, and shaping, all controlled with a single tap. We can also have as many different keys and reference pieces as needed. Setup is enabled with an in-app purchase of Setup plus Essentials. Here we are on the home page of the app. We can see the project worked with during parts 1 and 2, and we're going to build on that in part 3 to create custom pieces. I will tap to open my project. First, this pattern has some charts, and I'd like to be able to use a one-tap marker, voice controls, magic markers, and other tools Casey provides. To do that, I need to let Casey know about the charts in the pattern. For example, here is one on page 6. To get started, tap Setup. If you haven't used Setup before, say yes to convert to full. Here in Setup, we can use the Add, Copy, and Delete buttons on the right side to create new pieces and keys. Tap the blue plus to make a new piece and select Chart Piece. Pick page 6. Now we need to tell knitCompanion where to look on the page for our chart, and to do this we'll crop. We'll drag our finger diagonally across the area of the page with the chart. I can see it drawing the box as I drag. Take your time. You can adjust as needed. When you lift your finger, it will zoom into your selected area. When cropping for a chart, make sure all the chart edges are inside the crop. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you do want to be sure your entire chart is included. You can adjust your crop by dragging any of the edges or a corner. Now tap the wand. The wand triggers knitCompanion's unique chart recognition system, and that can find the edges of a chart and count the rows and stitches in the chart. It is pretty smart, but it is still really important for you to verify the results. First, we need to specify the first row of the chart. For me, it is 1. My chart also counts 1, 2, 3, so I will leave count by at 1. If your chart counts 1, 3, 5, set count by to 2. Next, take a look and make sure the system correctly found the edges of the chart and that the grid overlay matches the actual chart. You can manually adjust the results if needed. Mine are perfect. Tap Knit. We have created a new piece, and if we tap to select it, we see it has a one-tap marker on the right side. Tap the one tap to move to the next row. You can also turn on voice control so you never have to put your knitting down. Long tap and you can see more details about the progress in your piece. Now let's crop something that isn't a chart. Our quick key is handy, but it is only part of the page, so my bottom area is cluttered with extra information. Also, The key is very tall, and since I'm using my device in landscape, I would prefer to rearrange the key so it is wider and I can see more of it at one time across the width of the screen. Let's create a custom key using Setup that will show only the key and rearrange it to be wider. To begin, tap Setup. We want to create a key, so tap the blue plus and select Key. We need to pick the page of the key, the page of the pattern the key is on, in this case, page 6. The key is only part of what was on the page, so we want to crop away the parts we don't need. So I'll drag diagonally across the key, and for now, I only want the top part of my key. I can adjust my edges to get it where I want. When you are done cropping, tap the crop button and the view will show you just the resulting key. If you want to change your crop, just tap the crop button again. Now I have part of my key and I want to add the other half next to it to make it wide. So I will tap the Join button bottom right. I want to add a new piece and I'll pick page 6 again. Just like before, I'll crop the second half of my key. Once I have it the way I like, I need to decide how I want it lined up with the first part. So I'll tap Align at the top. Here I can see both parts. My new part has a yellow outline so I can easily see it, and this view zooms if you need. You can drag your new part to position it wherever you'd like. Be sure it is what you want before tapping Save, since when you tap Save, it glues the two parts together and can't be undone. If you need to, you can use Edit to change your new part, or the back button upper left to leave join without saving anything. I like what I have, so I will tap Save. Here, you can see the key is now wider. Tap Knit. Here you can see your new key at the bottom. It's nice and wide to fill the screen, and we can see more symbols than before. We can use these same skills of cropping and joining for any piece we want to customize. This includes charts, of course, written instructions with one-tap markers, keys, and other parts we might want to create. To use Setup plus Essentials with your patterns, you need a subscription. To view your purchase options, tap the Upgrade button. When you purchase, you get a 1-week free trial, so you can use Setup with Essentials with your projects before being charged. If you don't enjoy the tools, simply cancel your subscription during the first 7 days to avoid being charged the annual subscription. All purchases are done with the Apple App Store and managed with your Apple ID. I hope you enjoyed the tour. Visit knitcompanion.com for more videos, user guides, and FAQs. And join us in our Ravelry group and our Facebook page.